All right. Happy Friday, Friday Live. Just a bit later today, but better late than never. So let's talk value and self-worth. Value and self-worth. When I was a kid, when I was younger, I was the most confident, strongest guy walking around. Everywhere I walked, I had confidence and value and strength flowing out of me. And why did this happen? It didn't happen by mistake. It didn't happen because I was given anything. Muhammad Ali once said, it's not cockiness if you can back it up. And so when I immigrated to Israel at a very young age, I started training, I started fighting. And for the next 15 years, I had never lost a fight. Every single fight that I went to, I won, whether it was karate, whether it was Muay Thai, whether it was boxing, whether it was in Israel, whether it was in Europe, whether it was in Thailand, whether it was in the US. And I had just known that I had value and I had worth thanks to what I've achieved, thanks to what I've done, thanks to the path that I had gone through. And everywhere that I went, I knew no one could talk to me. No one could talk to me. 15 years later, after I started fighting, I finally arrived at my goal where I thought I wanted to arrive. I fought for a world championship in Duluth, Georgia, of all places. After fighting in Las Vegas, after fighting in New York, after being signed by the great Oscar De La Hoya, Golden Boy Promotions. I was the first non-Latino to be signed by Oscar De La Hoya, by Golden Boy Promotions. There was once an article about me called The Great Blue and White Hope. There was once a newspaper cover with me calling me a god. And so I walked around with all this value, all this who I thought that I was. I fought for that world championship, and God decided I had to go another way. God decided it's not going to happen the way it is. And I lost that fight. I got knocked the fuck out. As a matter of fact, I got knocked out so hard, my brother had to fly across the world to help me get up on my feet. I was in a coma for a few days. I was in a wheelchair after that. I had to go through rehab, and I was told I would never fight again. And then if a person, he builds his value and his worth, I built my value worth based upon the fruits of my labor, right? The things I've achieved, the things I've gone through, right? That's what your value comes from. Wrong. Absolutely wrong. Because what happens the day you lose all of that? And that's what happened. I fought, I got injured, I was told I would never be able to fight again. Then I believed that I had no worth anymore. I had no value. And then as soon as I'd done that, my whole life shifted in another direction. If you feel you have no value, you do things that have no value, no worth. And put myself in every single destructive situation I could be. The right drugs, but the wrong drugs and the wrong people and the wrong relationships and the wrong jobs and being constantly in places that you're mistreated and not valued. And I put myself in those situations because I thought I have no value anymore because all those things that I achieved no longer exist. I can no longer fight. That's what happens when you put your value and your worth on something external. In yoga and Buddhism, they call it ego, on these things that come and go, on physical things, on achievements. And so that's how I lived my life for a very, very long time, even though I went to college and I got a degree and I had a girlfriend and I opened a business. But internally, I had no worth, I had no value. And so where does your value come from? It takes a while to understand that. You have value, irregardless of those things. You have value. If you believe in evolution, you got to understand that we are the apex predator. We are the highest evolved being known to the human race, right? If you believe in God, then you know that you are made in God's image. You look exactly like God, whether you're man, woman, black, white, it doesn't matter. You are exactly God. God stopped everything he was doing and created you. And we forget that. We forget that many times. We base our worth and we base our feelings on external things, on achievements. But they all could get taken away from you. And so it takes a minute, it takes a while to realize what you really are worth, what you really have inside of you. And it's not the things you get, but it's the things you go through. It's the things you have inside. It's the path you walk. It's the intrinsic value that you have inside of you for being you. It takes a while to learn that and to believe that. And to know that that is a fact. I could tell you how I did that. Again, you could look at my past videos. It has to do with action, with the correct action that brings you where you want to go. But this is a short one for today, just to remind you and me and everyone that your value and who you are is absolutely not decided by anything external. Anything, not your status, not your money, not your achievements, because all those can and probably will at some point be taken away from you. Your true value comes from inside, from who you are, from who you really are. And you all have value. I have value. And confidence. And strength. And that's all. That's all for today. Wishing you all the best of weekends. And to know that inside of you, you are valuable and strong and loved and appreciated. And that's all natural. You don't even have to work for it. It is who you are. Sending you all much love and respect. Have a good weekend.